Welcome to Safe Money Radio with your Cashflow Coach, Fujinaka. Del is a cash flow and retirement specialist, primarily serving family estates and small business owners in Hawaii. But he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their transitions towards and in retirement. Mr. Fujinaka is a CWS and SEPA certified professional in the state of Hawaii, and he specializes in working with people who are near retirement or who are already retired with wealth management, income planning, tax efficiency, and asset protection strategies. And now, here to talk with you about no market risk, cash flow, and retirement planning, your host, Fujinaka.
Aloha! This is Fujinaka, your host, welcoming you to Safe Money Radio. I am your cash flow strategist, simplifying the complexity of money management to build stable wealth right now and for the future. As usual, let's start off this segment with a question. Would you like to lose all your money, some of your money, or none of your money? I have asked that question of my clients thousands of times, and almost everyone says, I don't want to lose any of my money. Mark Twain once said that he was more concerned with the return of his money than the return on his money. What if you could capitalize on both? Here is a problem. Most people don't want to lose any money, but their investments don't reflect that desire. I kid you not when I tell you that I constantly see retirees with 100% of their retirement funds in risk-based investments. I'm not talking about 100% in stocks and mutual funds. I'm even talking about the risks right now in bonds. It's a ticking time bomb just waiting to go off. Now, what if you had the chance to avoid ticking time bombs through participation in the upside of the market without any participation in the downside? If you are one of those people that don't want to see their entire life's efforts disappear overnight because of something you have no control over, but still want generous growth opportunities, give me a call now at 808-468-0552. Once we talk, I can determine if we should meet. But first, I must determine if I can significantly help you. When you call, ask for our Safe Money book, which we will provide at our expense. My number is 808-468-0552. That's 468-0552. Now, obviously, some money can afford to be lost and some money absolutely can't. Let's say that your income greatly exceeds your expenses on a guaranteed lifetime income basis and is hedged for inflation for growth over your lifetime. In other words, you and your spouse can never outlive your income. Your income is adequate and your income will increase to offset inflation. In this scenario, your money not used for income might be suitable for some risk or loss to potentially take advantage of hypothetical gains. So, you might say that you're not willing to lose any of your money dedicated for lifetime income, but for money not used for income, you could take some risk. What if you need most of your money for income? That describes many of the people I work with, but unfortunately, some of them don't know that until I tell them. Longevity risk is just as bad, if not worse, than market risk. If you live too long, will your money last as long as you do? How do you plan for living too long? The sad truth is most people plan for longevity risk is underliving their retirement. Underliving retirement? What does that mean? It's an unfortunate truth that most people do not live their retirement to its full potential. Why is that? Because a lot of people have great amounts of uncertainty in their retirement plan. Even wealthy people can have this problem because it is all proportional to desired income. If you're listening to me right now, there's a pretty good chance that you don't want to underlive your retirement. In other words, you probably want to get the most out of your retirement money. Live the dream, as they say, but also know that you won't run out of money before you run out of life. If you want a retirement that can live up to its potential, call for our Safe Money book and Safe Money information kit at 808-468-0552. We'll provide you this amazing retirement resource at our expense. Let's work together to take income uncertainty out of retirement so you can enjoy the golden years without financial stress. Make sure to ask about our income floor maximization program with a potential bonus on your money of up to 10% or more and growth rates of up to 7% for the purpose of receiving guaranteed lifetime income. Again, our number is 808-468-0552. Now let's get back to what I mentioned at the beginning of this segment. If you don't want to lose any of your money and you don't want to run out of money before you die, yet you still want to maximize your income and live your retirement to its full potential without stress and worry, what are you going to do? If your retirement plan is based on hypothetical growth with risk of loss and unknown mortality, how do you know how much money you can spend on your retirement? As you have heard me say before, a retirement plan with a hypothetical rate of growth, risk of loss, and arbitrary spending rate, and its assumed date of death is called an if-come plan because you don't know if it is going to be there when you need it. You've also heard me say that a retirement based on hypothetical, arbitrary, and assumed information is no way to live. Imagine if you had an income floor that you could never live before. Imagine the peace of mind and the confidence you would have in your retirement if you knew your income was adequate and growing. Imagine if you had solutions in place for spousal survivorship. Imagine if you had done something to offset the potential cost of long-term care. Wouldn't that be a better way to live than having a retirement base on a guessing game? Wouldn't that allow you to relax and enjoy retirement without the constant stress of having circumstances beyond your control steal the joy out of your golden years? These are all very important questions that need answers you can count on. Give me a call at 808-468-0552. Well, I must take a short break. This is Del Fujinaka and you're listening to Safe Money Radio. Let's pause for some exciting announcements.
What do you do in the morning? Do you spend the time with your first cup of coffee looking at the newspaper or watching financial news? How would you like to get that part of your life back? Our clients never have to watch financial news on TV or in the paper because their results are guaranteed. If the market goes up, they can participate. If the market goes down, they never participate. Now that's peace of mind. Wouldn't you rather enjoy your mornings instead of filling them with the stress of the markets? Call us now and we can show you how to sleep at night without the worry of market risk and outliving your retirement money. Our phone number is 808-468-0552. That's 808-468-0552. You're listening to Safe Money Radio with your host, Del Fujinaka.
Thank you for tuning in to Safe Money Radio. I am Del Fujinaka, a no market risk retirement and asset protection specialist. I was talking to one of my listeners the other day. We'll call him Joe. And he was mentioning how his friend made a 22% return in the market last year. For many reasons, I usually don't give a statement like that much attention. I don't even ask what they were invested in because claims like that are rarely true. The 22% return rarely accounts for fees and taxes. Also, people love to talk about a 22% return in reference to one investment they have with a portion of their money. If someone has $1 million and invests $50,000 of that into something they say gets 22% return, guess what they talk about at the parties? That is a 22% return on 5% of their money. Might make for a good story over some cocktails, but mathematically, it is not impressive. People never talk about the money they lost or the total return on all their money. That being said, for some reason this time I didn't dismiss the statement. I kind of had what I would call an impulsive epiphany and asked Joe if his friends spent all the money as soon as possible that year when it ended. He asked me, "What do you mean?" I asked Joe again, "Is the money gone? Did he spend it?" Joe said, "No, I don't think so." So I asked, "Is it still invested where he made that 22% return?" He said, "I don't know, but I think so." Now I asked a question that Joe will never forget. I said, "Joe, then how do you know he made a 22% return?" The phone went silent. I could hear the gears turning in his head. And then quietly, humbly, Joe answered, "I don't know." Before we get back to this encounter with Joe, one of my radio show listeners, let me ask you, what if you could know that any returns you have, you get to keep? If you are one of those people that don't want to see their entire life's efforts disappear overnight because of something you have no control over, but still want generous growth opportunities, give me a call at 808-468-0552. Once we talk, I can determine if we should meet. But first, I must determine if I can significantly help you. When you call, ask for our Safe Money book, which we'll provide at our expense. My number is 808-468-0552. Again, that's 468-0552. So let's get back to the conversation with Joe. Some of you listening have already figured out why a 22% return is not a 22% return if it is still invested, but let me outline this just in case. Let's illustrate this with some other questions. If you are married and you have one really good year of married life, is that a successful marriage? If you have children and you win Father and Mother of the Year for 1 year in that child's life, does that make you a successful parent? If you have a job and 1 year you exceed in every expectation your boss had for you, does that mean you have a successful career? You have heard the saying, don't count your chickens until they hatch. When it comes to retirement, when do your chickens hatch? Ironically, your retirement chicken hatches when your life is over. When it comes to money, people love to measure success in segments. They take a portion of their money that had the best performance over a convenient period of time and make themselves feel good by ignoring all of their other money and long-term consequences of risk. You see this all the time, and not just a guy bragging about his money at the party. You see it at financial news where they get giddy because the market is up for that day. You see it from brokers and advisors when they talk about last year's results from one investment fund. And that one investment fund they have out of hundreds of other funds where their clients lost money. Isn't it time to think about the long game of retirement? What does the return on a portion of your money over the last month, last year, or even last decade have to do with anything when you still have a life to live? If you want results you can count on, call for our Safe Money book and Safe Money information kit at 808-468-0552. We'll provide you this amazing retirement resource at our expense. Isn't it time to make sure the gains you get are the gains you get to keep? Again, our number is 808-468-0552. There's a name for exaggerated claims when something cannot be counted on, and I won't say it on the radio, but it doesn't come from a female cow, and it doesn't smell like roses. You know from listening to my show that I'm a straight shooter. I think retirement shouldn't be about laziness, but it also shouldn't be about stress that comes from striving and taking on risks that could put your retirement in jeopardy. I also think retirement should be about honesty. I think we should be wiser as we get older, and we shouldn't call something a gain when it can be taken away. A 22% gain that is still exposed to the market is not a 22% gain because you can't count on it. How do you take a gain and turn it into a permanent gain that is protected from loss and that you can't outlive? that is what I would like to talk to you about. My number is 808-468-0552. Well, I must take a short break. This is Del Fujinaka, and you're listening to Safe Money Radio. Let's pause for some exciting announcements.
Are you 59 and a half or older and still working? Did you know that you can move some or all of your retirement money to an independent retirement account without any taxes? Why keep your money in your employer's plan with high fees, high risk, and little to no option for guaranteed lifetime income that you cannot outlive? What will happen to your plan at work if the market crashes? Call Del Fujinaka now for advanced, no market risk retirement planning that will guarantee you freedom from market risk but participation in market gains. Call 808-468-0552. That's 808-468-0552. Now back to more Safe Money Radio with your host, Del Fujinaka.
Thank you for tuning in to Safe Money Radio. I am Del Fujinaka, a no market risk retirement and asset protection specialist. Have you ever heard the saying, good isn't good enough? A lot of financial planners and investors think they are good at investing. I would hope that they are. Otherwise, what business do they have investing in risky stocks, bonds, and mutual funds? Even if someone is good at investing, you still might ask the question, is good good enough? In the game of investing, the truth is that good is not good enough. Saying you're good at investing is like saying, well, you're good at playing poker. Talent and skill can only take you so far when you gamble at the casino, because no matter how good you are, there are things beyond your control. You only know what you know, and no matter how good you are at reading the cards, you don't have all the information you need to be 100% certain that you are going to win. When it comes to no market risk planning, you capture market gains but never market losses. You remove the uncertainty and replace it with guarantees and peace of mind. You know that you will never, and I mean never, lose money from market downturns. You know for certain because it is a contractual guarantee that says you may participate in market gains and never losses. When you avoid market risk, you don't have to be a good investor because you remove all the downside from market loss. Rather than having the stress that comes with investing in things where you can lose your money, wouldn't you rather have a better than average chance of a better than average return without any risk of market loss? Don't you think at least some of your retirement money should be protected from market loss, but still have the opportunity for locking in market gains? If you have at least $100,000 set aside for retirement and are at least age 50, you should call me for a complimentary suitability review. My number is 808-468-0552. Once we talk, I can determine if we should meet, but first, I must determine if I can significantly help you. My number again is 808-468-0552. I promise you won't waste your time because I can't waste my time either. We have income accounts that will pay up to 7% interest for 10 years, and I know you wouldn't be wasting your time finding out how that might help with your retirement planning. Speaking of 7% return, here's why good is not good enough. The market has a major correction on average about every 7 years. This is common knowledge, so I probably don't have to convince you of that. If you had a 7% return on your money for 10 years, a $100,000 investment would be worth around $197,000. But what if during one of those years, there was just a single 20% market correction? Instead of $197,000, you'd only have $147,000 in 10 years. That's $50,000 less. Now tell me, If you are invested in risk-based assets like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or variable annuities, let's say, what are the chances you will have at least a single 20% correction at some point in the next 10 years? Nobody can say for sure, but I'm pretty sure most people would say the chances are just about 100%. So why would you want to have $50,000 less for income payments when you can have up to 7% guaranteed for 10 years with a guaranteed lifetime income as an account? Let me repeat this just in case you missed it. A single 20% loss at any time during a 10-year period means that you lose $50,000 on a $100,000 investment. You invest $100,000, and instead of having almost $200,000, you have less than $150,000 after 10 years. What financial planner or private investor is good enough at investing to avoid all major market corrections over a 10-year period? Now, what about fees? Imagine if you are saving up for income, lost $50,000 just because of a 20% market loss, and then had fees reducing your income account value in addition to the losses. If what I'm saying makes sense, call me and I'll give you a complimentary copy of our Safe Money book when we meet. I don't work with everyone, so if I can't help you, I apologize, but my calendar is typically booked at least 2 weeks out. I specialize in working with those approaching or in retirement. If you're not at least 50 years of age, I probably won't be able to help you. I also require at least $100,000 in retirement savings, but typically work with accounts between $300,000 and $5 million. Once again, my number is 808-468-0552. That's 808-468-0552. Good just isn't good enough when it comes to investing in risk-based investments. We all know how luck works in risky situations. Eventually, the luck runs out. At the very least, it becomes an issue of timing, which eventually becomes a victim of random chance. If you want to control your risk-based investments, you have to control everything. It is not good enough just to be a good investor. You must control politics, corruption, global instability, the weather, computer glitches, computer attacks, and every bad thing that can happen while you are awake or sleeping. Even if you spend every minute of every daylight hour watching your investments, you must sleep sometime, and at least half of the world is awake while you're sleeping. So how are you going to protect yourself from the risk of market loss? I know, you're a prudent investor. So you have puts against your calls or stop loss triggers. What if you had a no loss trigger and your only option was to participate in stock market like gains? Isn't that better? Personal investors and some financial planners love to use jargon to make themselves feel safe, knowing full well that the risk is still there. They have you sign a disclosure statement to take away the risk from them and put it all on you. Clients sometimes tell me they got things under control because of these stop loss orders, complicated option investment strategies, short selling, diversification, and all kinds of other so-called protectionary strategies. It's human nature. People try to sound smart just to make themselves feel good, but deep down inside, there's an underlying stress and worry because they know these strategies are just a roll of the dice. Why not just keep your gains and avoid losses? Sometimes a simple answer is the best answer. Why stress over retirement money when you can sleep at night without worrying about what you are going to wake up to? Shouldn't at least some of your money be stress-free and immune to the stock market losses while participating in stock market like gains? If you're approaching or in retirement, shouldn't at least some of your money be stress-free and immune to stock market losses while participating in stock market gains? If you're approaching or in retirement, have an absolute minimum of $100,000 in retirement savings, and have an open mind to retain and gain retirement and income strategies, I might be able to help you. Give me a call now at 808-468-0552. That's 808-468-0552. There is no cost or obligation. Well, that's all the time I have for Safe Money Radio this week. Before I go, I want you to know that I sleep at night knowing that none of my clients have ever lost a single penny to market risk. I want you to sleep at night too. Until next time at the same time, I'm Del Fujinaka reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure financial future.
You've been listening to Safe Money Radio with your host, Del Fujinaka. Find out how to guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe with locked-in returns and never going down due to market risk, so you can have the future that you deserve. Call Del Fujinaka now for your free Safe Money book and Safe Money information kit at 808-468-0552. That number again is 808-468-0552. The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you're just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program are subject to change without notice.